Welcome to Demon Souls. This is the Demon Souls remake for PlayStation 5. We're here in the beginning of the game. We're just about to hop into the first level. I'm going to take you guys through the first level, most of it, and you'll see what the game is all about. I'll talk to you about the structure, the combat, all that stuff, and let's hop into it. So before we go, we're in a place called the Nexus. In Demon Souls, the Nexus is your hub. So NPCs will be here. You can go to this guy and level up your weapons or repair your equipment. This guy will hold on to your items that you can't carry for you, etc., etc. NPCs that you meet in the world will come back here and have storylines that you can interact with. But basically, everything takes place out of here. In the beginning of the game, you'll only have access to the first level, 1-1. But after you beat the first level, all of these archstones open up, except the one up there is broken. So there's only five archstones, and you can start going to any level you want, at least the first level of those worlds. But we're going to do 1-1 today. I'm going to skip any cutscenes, so don't worry about that. But we'll give you a good idea of what this game is all about. First observation to make is the load times are really, really good. The moment you start seeing the cutscene, that's it. That was the load. Okay. Before we get going, I want to talk about my history with the Souls series. I've played a ton of Dark Souls. Demon Souls I played after Dark Souls because I played it originally on PS3 and I couldn't get into it because I just kept dying on this specific level. But I played it afterwards. I played it probably 2 times, loved it. But a lot of this is, I remember the areas and have some memory of the game, but a lot of this, like the minute details, will be new to me. So I can't say that I will remember every single difference, but we're talking about this game, not the old one. We will talk about some comparison later in the video, but let's get started. So this is Demon Souls. As you can see, I'm a character. There is a character creator in this game. There's plenty of videos that go into a lot of depth about how you can create your character and whatnot. The important thing to know is you choose a starting class. That class determines what items you start with and also what your attributes are. You can see on the right there the attributes I have. This Demon Souls doesn't have a specific class system. So although, yes, I started as a hunter, that doesn't mean that I'm a hunter for the whole game. I can adapt my skills to however I want. Right now, I have, 13 endurance and I have low magic, but I can also just level up my magic and turn this guy into a mage if I wanted to. It's just a jumping off point. The main focus of these games is the combat and how you fight enemies. So there is melee combat, there is ranged combat, and there is magic. So this character is primarily starting off as a melee character, although I do have a bow, which I can use. Let's see how it works. With bows, you can aim. They're not... I'm not the best ranger. So bows, I would say, are not an ideal... you're not going to be fighting all your battles with bows. Although crossbows you can make some viable builds out of, and I'm sure that some people fight all their battles with bows. They're just a little bit less powerful than, say, a melee weapon. And also you can see I have way less ammo. I'm also a really, really good shot, which is good to know. Yep, I've missed every single one, and I'm getting destroyed. So I'm going to stop shooting people with my bow and just hit people with my axe. So in the game, there are a bunch of different weapon types. There is a light attack. That's my light attack. There is a heavy attack. That's my heavy attack. You can choose to one-hand a weapon, or you can hit triangle and then use it with 2 hands. That'll change the animations for both attacks, and you also hit harder. Weapons also have different animations depending on what weapon you're using. There's also, if you push forward and your light attack, you'll do a different move. So there's a bunch of different unique attacks and animations for your weapons. With your shield, you can hold it up to block. Some shields block 100% of damage, some shields don't. You can also hit the left trigger to parry. I'll try to show you a parry, but I'll probably get destroyed. Let's see. Hit me? Nope. That's a parry. So when you parry, you can then follow it up with a riposte and do a crazy fun riposte animation. It's generally a ton of damage. It won't one-shot every enemy, but enemies like these lighter, small guys won't be a problem. In addition, you have backstabs, which allow you to have an invincible animation while you stab them in the back, which also does a lot of damage. You have a green bar at the top left there. That's your stamina bar. So jump in the hole. That's a little trick for you. So with the stamina bar, it will deplete when you do things like attack, block, roll, or run. You can see as I just rolled there, it depleted. It replenishes fairly quickly when you're not blocking. It will also replenish while you're blocking. It's just a lot slower. And it's a matter of balancing your actions, your attacks, your dodges, your running, whatever, with still having enough stamina to get out of the way or to block whatever the incoming next attack is. In addition to melee and ranged, like I said, there is a magic class, or there's magic in the game. There's both magic and miracles. Miracles in this game are mainly used for healing and defense, but there are some miracles that are for offensive purposes. And then there's magic in this game, which is for primarily attacking. However, there's also ones that are for defense or buffing to make your weapons do different kind of damages, and things like that. You see I have a blue bar up there. That is specifically for mana, for magic and miracles. This character does not have any, but I can jump into a magic character after this and just show you quickly what a spell looks like, because they're really, really fun in this game. You have a limited number of spell slots, so depending on how high, I can't remember what the attribute is, but one of your attributes level up, and depending on how high that number is how many spells you can carry. So you'll have to balance what spells you want to take out with you, what spells you want to leave behind, but you can interchange them anytime you go to the Nexus. And, part of the game is exploring these levels. Finding items, finding weapons that you like, upgrading them, making characters that are built around those weapons. I wouldn't say I have a favorite type of weapon, but, part of the replay value is finding weapons you really enjoy, and then building a character around them, and then just going through the whole game with one or two weapons and just having a blast. And also, you can do that for PvP. You can make a build that's like, this build is really good at implementing that and adding bleed damage, because certain weapons also have different attributes, whether it be adding a bleeding effect, a poison effect, whatever. There's a bunch of variety in the items and weapons you can find. God. The other thing I'm picking up here is called Crescent Moon Grass. There's also different types of grass that heal you more, but basically that's a finite item that you will use to heal your character. If you run out, you guessed it, you need to go farm some more. It's kind of a rough... That's one system that, in later games like Dark Souls became a little bit more antiquated. That's not to say like Bloodborne had the silver bullets and the vials, so that was basically a very similar system. It's a design choice. It's good and bad. You can carry a lot of them, but you can also run out. So, and I'm gonna roll out of the way of this. A little pro tip for you. That opens up a little fun little bastard sword for you. If for those of you wanting to go through with a heavy sword, I'm going to stick with this axe because it's a very good axe. So you see my character is wearing what looks like leather armor, and I think it is leather armor. Yep, leather armor. So in the top right there, you see a number that says 12.6 out of 42. That's my equip burden, and the percentage of that is 30%. So I am 30% of equipment burden. If I were, say, over 50%, it would make it so my roll would be very slow. However, the heavier armor you wear, the more defense you have. So it's a balance game of, do you want really heavy armor and take a lot less damage when you get hit, or do you want to be more mobile and rely less on getting hit and more on rolling out of the way, or a combination of the two. You can also go beyond 100% equipment burden, and when you do that, you can no longer run, and if you try to dodge, you will just do a very silly like 20-second roll animation. These guys really suck. I hate them a whole lot because they can block and attack at the same time, and he has a little archer buddy. I just hate him. And he recovers very quickly from my attacks. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to kill this archer. I don't even know why I'm going over here, because you know what? I'm not going to show you what's over here. You're going to discover that on your own. Okay. You can also, so right now, my equipment burden, my max equipment burden is 42. If I had a weight of my items added up to weigh 42, this one weighs 1.8. If it added up to weigh 42, I'd be at 100% equip burden. You can raise that number. The endurance stat over there, mine is currently 13. The higher that number goes, the higher your equipment burden. So you can eventually carry, and you can eventually level up. So if you want to wear really heavy armor, you can level that number up and be able to wear the heaviest armor in the game. Go back. No. We just healed. Jerk. That's a real jerk move. I'm not going to do the same thing. Not at all. All right, let's go. I was trying to get a backstab. No. Don't let him do it. It's very bad etiquette to heal during a fight if you're the bad guy. Let's go unlock this shortcut. Why not? So, beyond the combat, things you should know are the currency in this game. You can see a number in the top right of my screen. 684 is what it is right now. That number is both my currency for leveling up, as well as my currency for buying items, upgrading my weapons, and so on and so forth. If I were to die, I would drop that currency on the ground, wherever I died in the level. So if I died right here, I would have to fight my way back to this point in order to pick up all my items that I had dropped. Or all my souls that I have dropped. Pro tip, come down here, attack those change. Just do it. This is a punishing system, because if you are, say you die and you're on your way back to get your items, you're going to be in trouble, because if you die, you lose those souls forever. You don't get them back. So you can lose any number of souls. If you have 1,000,000 souls, you can lose them all. Not something you want to do. The other thing that happens when you die, and it's the state I'm currently in, is you enter something called soul form. You can see right now I'm sort of looking wispy and a little bit blue. That's because I'm kind of half dead. You can see in my health bar up there, I have currently like a bar that stops about halfway up. That's because I'm in soul form. When you go in soul form, your health is limited. I just picked up an item, which, pro tip, you should go get that item. That raises that number, so it's not quite half. It's more like 70%. So now I can have more health while in soul form. But basically, when you die, you go into soul form. You have half health. You can no longer be invaded by other players, and I'll talk about that in a minute. You can no longer summon people into your game to help you, real people. So it's kind of an advantage and a disadvantage. Dying is a bad thing. Because you want to have as much health as possible, but you're also susceptible to being invaded, which is not great. So it's a trade-off. In order to restore body form is when you have full health and you're fully alive. You'll need to do things like kill a boss, or as when you're in soul form, you can drop a sign on the ground that will let other people summon you into the game, and then you can help them kill a boss, and if you do that, you get your body back. One thing to note in this game is there's messages all over the place. There's messages, there's bloodstains. So if I click this, I can see what happens to this guy. So this is some guy. He's running through. Let's see what happened to him. Where's he going? Oh, he walks into this room, and then, oh, it looks like he's on fire, and he died. These are also messages that are either written by the developers, or often, most of the time, they're written by players. So this one says, time for vaulting. Why don't I do that? Why don't I vault over? So I'm jumping down here. This is a friendly guy.
That was a bold leap. Well, now that you are...
So, this guy wants me to kill these guys down here. I'm going to help him out. I don't mind. I don't mind doing a little dirty work. What I do want to do is not waste all of my fire bombs. For good reason. But I'm going to waste a couple to even the odds a bit. I think that should do it. If you played Dark Souls and you're wanting to have a plunge attack on that part, there is no plunge attack in this game. There's no plunge attack and there's no jump. So get used to it. Plunge attack I miss. Jump I could care less. That jump in Dark Souls was always clunky. All right, thank you. He'll also give you a nice little item there. Little brass telescope for you. On top of balancing your... Oh, God. Nope. On top of balancing your... Oh, my God. On top of balancing... on top of balancing your equipment load with the armor you're carrying... different armors also have different resistances. So if you're fighting, say, a fire boss, you might want a set of armor that, say, has higher resistance to fire. And the same goes for weapon types. Different weapons have different types of damage. So there's like piercing damage or thrusting damage, and there's slashing damage, there's blunt damage, etc., etc. Different parts of the game, they'll have enemies where they just don't take crap for damage. I really tried to parry, it just did not go my way. Oh god, I'm in so much trouble. Okay. There'll be different parts, there'll be different enemies that are susceptible to different types of damage, and in some cases they're not susceptible to other, like, you know, if I use my axe on one level on these enemies, it'll do like no damage. But if I use, say, a weapon that does thrusting damage, it'll do immense amount of damage. So you'll need to sort of read the signs that are on the ground that sort of give you hints, and adapt maybe your play style or your weapons and armor to the situation you're in. I mentioned co-oping earlier. When you are in body form, you can summon up to 2 people to help you. Do I want to go down here? Not really. Oh, but he's going to go down there. All right, let's do a little housekeeping here. It just doesn't get better than that. It just doesn't. I mean... Okay, well, I'm not going to waste any more of those. They're very vital to me. I can't even hit them when they're stationary. What's my problem? Okay, that's 1 hit. Does a reasonable amount of damage. I didn't realize this, but the triggers on when you're using a bow are adaptive. So it's pretty free-flowing. When I'm using an axe, it feels like a normal trigger. But when I'm using this, there's like a bit of draw on the second half. That feels really great. Oh, that's awesome. Love it. Okay. We'll talk more about the modern features and the controller later, because there's a lot of really cool things about this game that I'm just so happy compared to the original. We'll get into it. Let's continue on in the level. Of course, he's in trouble. I don't want to let him die. There's some situations in the Souls games and in Demon Souls where if you find an NPC, you might have one chance to do a thing, and if you screw it up, that storyline might be lost to you for the game, and that's not the end of the world. It's just how these games are. These games are if you're into them, you're gonna replay them because you're gonna want to try different builds or even just different weapons throughout your playthroughs. So don't feel bad that if on your first time you don't get every single thing right. You'll go through it and figure it out. But for that guy, try to keep him alive. I'm not sure if he can die, but it's better to err on the side of caution. Alright, they're dead. I'm going to try to barrel through this level. But when you're co-oping, friends can come in and help you. In the remake specifically... Oh, geez. I actually want to go this way. In the remake specifically... Come on. There is a menu that allows you to have a password. And that password makes it so you can invite your friends into your game. You both set the same password, and they'll be able to see your summon signs. One pretty controversial feature that they added was the ability to limit invasions, which means that in the regular original Demon Souls, while you were online and while you were in body form, you know, you'd get invaded by other players. They would come, ruin your day, but that's just part of the game. Oh god, no. Okay, well, thankfully fall damage is nil, so I didn't get a lot of damage there. But you can limit the invasions now. So if you're truly inclined to not be invaded or not engage with the PvP, you know, you could always have played offline. So I suppose there's some justification for it. But I really would recommend that you go online. Don't limit your invasions. And actually, it might even be on by default right now. Let me double check. Let me get out of the way of this archer. Invasion limit. No, okay. So the invasion limit can't be turned on without a password. So it's off by default, which is how it should be. So it's. I know it sounds scary to be invaded, but it really is like. It's a feeling like no other when someone invades your game. It's like an anxiety and a stress that like. It's hard to describe, but when you overcome an invader, it's also that surge of excitement that you only get from like the hardest bosses in the game. This game is very good at building adrenaline and making you feel like you've accomplished something. And it's taking away invasions is just not. It's not something I would recommend doing. So don't. But I'm not going to say don't. I'm not going to say definitely don't, because everyone plays the game a different way. And if you're not going to have fun while playing and getting invaded, then don't. That's fine. It's actually, in a way, it's kind of neat that they let you turn off or limit invasions while, oh god, that they'll let you limit invasions while still being online, so you can see summon signs and see player messages and things like that. These guys are kind of tough, I'm not going to lie to you. The spear guys are always kind of a pain. We haven't seen any yet to my knowledge. I'm not going to go over there. You can go over there yourself. We haven't seen any yet to my knowledge. But there's a thing in this game. Oh, there we go. Right there. White Phantom. That guy that's standing right there, that's a real player. I don't think it's quite in real time, but it might be. That's a real player and what actions they're currently taking in the game. So you sort of see players' worlds are layered on top of one another. And it gives you the feeling of like, there are other people here doing stuff. And I love it. It's really, really neat. Let's go, dragon. Definitely want to move. Would love if the dragon killed these guys, but I guess he's not going to. I guess I'm going to kill these guys. I know it. I'm playing so well. Ouch. Okay. We need to trigger that dragon for him to go blow fire onto this bridge. So to do that, I need to walk on the bridge. And there he is. He's going to do it. Really? Oh, come on, buddy. I really need the dragon. I really need him. I need you to burn all these dudes. Please. Please, God. Burn all these dudes. Oh my god. This is such a precarious situation. Normally the dragon is all about lighting the bridge on fire. There it is. There it is. Burn those fools. Nope, it's not going to. I'm gonna have to fight them all. Okay, it burned one. That's good news. Okay. So the dragon's gonna go ahead and burn the bridge. And now, as soon as it passes... Oh, God! I didn't realize it got down that far. I'm gonna let it do it again, and then I'm gonna run. Come on, dragon. Let's go. Actually, I'm just gonna run. We're just gonna go. We're just gonna do it. I'm gonna run past these archers. You can see where the char starts. Ouch. Ouch. Double ouch. Go, go, go. Go, go. I don't want to be a part of this. I want to go. As you kill enemies, you'll obviously get souls. And always peek around corners. Look for items. There might be some good stuff for you. Okay. So, continuing on. We're getting there. We're just about to the boss. We're just about to finish up. So, talking about like more modern features, I mentioned the controller, so we can talk about that for a second. So I didn't even know, but it has adaptive triggers for bows. Very awesome. What it also has is a setting for I didn't even turn it off. A setting for immersive haptics and immersive sound. So things like when you walk over a wooden plank or like some debris, oftentimes that will play a noise through the speaker that mimics what's happening. So it sounds like, you know, it's coming from below you. But more than even beyond that, oh god, beyond that. Okay, tight quarters, big axe, not the best. Beyond that, when you do things like swing your weapon. If I hit that wall with my weapon, I'm feeling it on mainly the right side. And also, like, if I have a big old metal shield and someone's axe comes in and hits my shield really hard, but I've blocked it, the feeling of that with the sound coming out of the controller, with the haptic feedback, it's hard to describe without actually feeling it, but it feels as it should. It feels like my shield is being hit, or it feels like I'm hitting someone with a big chunky weapon. Oh god, something is actually wrong with the sound right now. I don't know if you could tell. Okay. Oh god. Oh jeez. Axe in this game is just so much fun. The animation on it is so wily, but you know, it just looks awesome and it feels awesome. I feel like I might have missed something. God, did I not pull the lever? I guess I'll know in a second. We gotta go down this way anyway. If you don't have to waste your fire on these guys, don't. You'll know why in a minute. These guys are susceptible anywhere but their shields. If you hit their shields, you'll bounce off. So avoid hitting them there. Backstabs, always satisfying. If I had one complaint about the backstabs and the parry animations, it's that when you hit them, you have several parts to the animation where sometimes you do a second or a third hit, but all the damage comes at the front end of it, so you're not quite, you know, it'd be nice to see the damage come as the animation's coming, but you've probably noticed already, but graphically, like, it looks incredible. It's running at 60 frames per second. You know, the reflections in the puddles, even like the bits you walk in the puddles look amazing. There's like little bits of physics everywhere. You can see like the tassels on my armors are going around. There's physics on enemies. There's physics on like chains and stuff. It's really good looking. You know, there's not much I don't like about it visually. If you want to see some of the filters that they've added, you know, people were not liking the color palette, but they said, you know, here, check it out. We have different visual filters for you. So this is the classic filter. You can see it's a very green hue to it. The original game was very greeny. I don't really know why. It's just kind of how it was. There's some other ones I think look actually really awesome. I'm going to play with the original one first, but Vivid I think looks great. Makes everything look super colorful and nice, but probably a bit too cheery for Demon Souls. But overall, like, this is one of those like next gen looking games. You know, run a game like this running at 60 frames per second on this system is just a feast for the eyes. And here's our first boss. I'm gonna go ahead and fix my inventory because I've screwed something up. I just need to get to my pine resin. Thank you very much. We'll get that in a minute. First, what you want to do here is throw some fire bombs. Don't get hit by all the spears, but throw some fire bombs. Fire is really the way to do this fight. You'll want to also focus it on the little guys to clear room for yourself. That's why you don't want to use all your fire bombs right away. And once you clear some space, you can go behind a pillar here. Take a minute if you need to heal up, you can heal up. You can also give yourself a little bit of a fire on your sword with a pine resin, and then say bye-bye. Oh god, I'm hitting his shield. Ouch. One thing to note is you really want to avoid getting greedy in these games like I'm doing right now. You kind of want to go in, get some hits, and get out, but if you do have an opening, it might be worth taking. You just don't want to take too many hits. But that guy, very easy if you use fire. And that's the Demon Souls. I will hop into a magic character to show you what that's like, but I really wanted to give you guys an idea of what Demon Souls is like, what the remake is like, and just how freaking gorgeous it is. So let me hop in to a magic character real quick so you can see what that is. Okay, this is a magic character. A starting class is called the Royal, or Royalty. I don't want to say that it's overpowered, but listen to this. Listen to how powerful this sounds. Those sound effects are quite possibly the best magic sound effects I've ever heard. And I'm not hyperbolizing. They sound incredible. This class starts off with the spell Soul Arrow. But on top of that, it starts off with a ring that I will show you increases your mana recovery, or your mana over time, which means, you guessed it, you can just sit there, let your mana recover, and then continue fighting with magic. You know, you might in the heat of a big battle run out, but overall, that is an incredibly powerful ring to have. And by God, is this class powerful? And I don't want to say overpowered, but at least in this early part of the game, it is oh boy, very, very nice. So that's the essence of a magic character. You can see my mana is going down. This magic character starting off with lighter armor. You could make a magic character that wears super heavy armor. It's not like incredibly common, but it's definitely doable. You can also make a character that you know, fits your whatever your idea of a wizard is in your head. I am definitely going to play through this game a second time or a third time with a magic character, because it's so powerful. And I haven't gotten the late game spells yet, obviously, but in the original Demon Souls, the late game spells are incredibly fun as well. So closing thoughts. Overall, I'm very excited to be playing this. For the past couple days, I've had a smile on my face. I haven't stopped talking to Grace about how happy I am to be playing Demon Souls, how excited I am to have a next-gen console with a Souls game as the flagship title. And the combat it's so punchy and it feels so good. And it's even though I've played it before, it feels like a new challenge all over again, and it's such a blast to play. If you do have a PS5 or you're getting a PS5, this is not one to be missed. This is a must-have, unless you're just totally averse to third-person action games, then maybe don't. But if you have any curiosity or interest, give it a shot. You will not regret it. I'll have more videos coming out soon. Let me know if there's anything specific you guys want to cover, either on Demon Souls or PS5 games. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye.